If you're a business owner that's always on and you struggle to feel good about taking time off over the holidays, I'm hoping that this will help you change your mind. I recently asked my coaching clients what they're going to be doing over the holiday period, and some of them were apologetic that they were taking time off to spend with their families, like there was some sort of reward meant to be for us to work through. A few others were saying they were going to use the entire time to work and get their heads straight. And I wanted to share a little bit about how I've changed over the last, 20 years of owning a business, and what I would recommend to people who are also wanting to make 2024 an amazing year, and how your holidays can help that. My name is Rachel Klaver, and this is Confident Content. I am a content marketing coach who's been a marketing strategist working with over 1,000 small businesses over the years, helping them work on their marketing strategy. And I've owned my own businesses too, so I feel like I've got a place where I can do this. I was also massively a recovering workaholic who used to prioritize her work far beyond anything else she did, and I still have to work on that sometimes and realize that work is just one element of my life. So this is the holiday episode. It's going to be quite short, but I really wanted to share with you a few things that you could be doing during this time. So let's get started. The first thing is, if you're burnt out, if you are tired, if you have not looked after yourself, your top priority over the Christmas period is to have rest. Now, if you are someone who likes to have active holidays where you're spending every waking moment with family, then maybe that's going to be difficult. But maybe this is the last year that happens that way, if that just wears you out. Our holidays are meant to make us feel refreshed. They're meant to make us feel energized. And sure, that is tricky when you have young children. I have been there. But we can find ways to release ourselves from the obligations of how we feel things should be. I think that's a really important part of this, is that if we want to be energized business owners, on tap, on great parents, if we want to do those things, we have to decide that we need to look after ourselves first. So if we're not doing that, if we are not creating a business and a life that we can actually put our needs first, and we don't think it's even okay to do that because we're last in line, then maybe this Christmas our gift for ourselves is to carve out times every day just for ourselves. And I have been every part of this. I have been, for years, I was so bad at this. But it can be as simple as, I need an afternoon nap, so I'm going to let my children watch television while I have a nap on the couch. And yes, it's not as great as having a nap in my bedroom, but I'm going to do it. And yes, I'm watching television, but I'm going to do this because I need a nap. And at least I know they're safe while I'm doing it. It could be deciding that you're going to say, hey, could you look after the kids, or could you cook dinner tonight, because I'm going to go for a walk because I need to clear my head, and I'm going to go and listen to a jolly good podcast, potentially even this one. It could be about deciding that you are going to do that every day, and that you're going to say, actually, these holidays I need to do that. It might be that this is the holiday that you say, I'm not cooking. We're just going to buy a whole lot of stuff and make sandwiches for dinner every night this week, because that's going to make it less time for me to do it, or you're going to do some cooking. It's really important that we make sure we look after ourselves. And while we're doing that, reflect on how we can take a little bit of that through the year as well. It was this time a few years ago that I realized I don't have to cook every night for dinner during the year. And maybe I could use this time to set some new habits for other people and talk about how we could implement them during the year, so I'm not so tired the following Christmas. So using this time to reflect and think about how we're balancing that family Christmas time is really important. The second thing is, if you are wanting to work on your business, and I get it, I do recommend having a 3 to 5 day complete break from any business stuff, just to let your brain have a complete break. The reason I recommend that is our subconscious will start to tick away and think of things, so that when we do want to come back and plan, we actually have more space to do that. We've got more space to really think things through. Don't jump straight from breaking up from work, Christmas Day with the family, maybe Boxing Day off, and then jump back into prepping, because it's not going to give you that slow down of actually having a bit of subconscious reflection time to help you really get that stuff going. If you do jump into business planning because you feel this is the time you should do it and you're feeling resistant, I would recommend you don't push it, because it's an indication that your body and your brain is tired and needs more time, and that's more important at this time of year than anything else. If you do want to do things, here's some things I would recommend that you do that aren't directly related to marketing or business that's going to help your business this year. The first one is to really focus on, what does my life look like now, and what do I want my life to look like? And how then can I make my business reflect that more? You don't have to write anything down. Just think about it. Talk about it. Muddle things over. If you want to write something down, you can. But just have those thoughts about what that looks like. If you're like, I've come into Christmas really tired, I don't want to be like that, maybe note down, these are some things that I could do next year that would prevent that. Maybe it might be writing my posts to go across here, so I'm not doing them last minute. I could start do them in September, but I'm not worried. It'll feel weird, but it will mean it's done. And then I'm going to put a note in my calendar for September, write my Christmas post now. It could be that you're going to do, this is something that I failed at this year. I tried to do it because I know that in the last few weeks before Christmas, I'm really tired. And so I tried to make sure that all my one-on-one work would be done beginning of December. But unfortunately, I had a few people who, through no fault of their own, had to delay a few things. And I really want to get those things closed off. So I am now working quite close up to Christmas for those things. But actually really thinking about, when is my cutoff dates? And then how can I make my business work really well so I don't have to do that work so close to Christmas, because I want to have that time off, or I want to just have that time to reset. I would also look at blocking out now time next year in the busy period that doesn't get shifted for planning for next year, getting my stuff done that's busy, time to shop for presents, all those different things. So you actually book that into your calendar now for next year so that you remember, because this is when you're feeling it, right? So when we get to October, you're like, I don't need that, I'll be fine. But now you know you need it. So go and pop those dates in your calendar now to protect yourself from this again next year. Let's make this the last year if we're tired. Then I would like you to fill your time on your holiday with as many things that are not related to your business as possible. I want you to really enjoy leaning into books that you enjoy reading, podcasts you enjoy listening to, music you love listening to, because people that aren't exploring those things, and if our life is just our day-to-day life and our business, we have small amounts of things that we can talk about. And when we can talk about things that are broader, we're feeding our brains with information that we can pull through and use through the year with our content. So it's really important for us to use this as a soak-in experiences time to really reflect and enjoy the marketing topics that we're going to use. We can't just use boring old how-to stuff all the time. People want experiences. People want to have interactions. And what we need to do that, hilariously, is just to go and enjoy our life. So that's really important. If we are relaxed and we're wanting to use that time to plan, I do really recommend that if you know that January is a quiet time, you do, when you come back, if you want to come back a bit earlier, that's what we often do. We come back a week earlier than we would normally start work. Like, who knows what's going to happen this year, because I'm recording this while our house is on the market. We could be moving, we could be trying to find a house. I don't know what's happening. I'm finding that quite difficult as someone who likes to know have a structure for everything. But whatever your life is, if it's in a state of flux or what it's doing, really make the most of having times that are focused times on work and then putting it all away, rather than having days where you're going, I'm booked this whole day out to plan for next year, to do this stuff over my holiday break, and I'm not feeling it, but I'm going to push through. I just strongly recommend to put everything away and just let it go, because it will come. It will come. But if you keep on doing that and pushing through, you're just not going to rest your body and your mind the way that it needs to. Have a notebook with you at all times. Have a pen if you want to jot stuff down. But don't worry about formulating anything into a massive plan. Don't do that. Just take that pressure off. Allow yourself to soak into that. And while you're doing that, if there's anything that I would do, is I'd reflect on, what could I have done to make this period easier, leading up to Christmas, this Christmas holiday period, and going back to work period easier. Note that down, and then have that in your notes for next year to provide yourself with that for you. I think the best gift we can give ourselves as business owners in 2023 is that our Christmas in 2024 will be one where we're not coming into it so tired. We were coming into it feeling organised. We were coming into it with our posts scheduled in and all sorted, maybe some auto lists in there for some other bits and pieces, where we know that the emails are going to be consistently going across. If we are, we know that we've made choices about when we're stopping posts or stopping emails, and they've been like a calculated reason. I missed my first Friday email for the year today. I didn't even realise until about an hour ago. I am just tired, and I could have just jumped in and done it, but I thought, no, I'm going to sit and plan doing these podcasts and do some things, because actually that's going to take the pressure off rather than feeling like I've got to keep up with something. And that happens to me every year at this time. But this is the least I've ever dropped the ball on. I have definitely had Christmas, leading into Christmases, where I've gone and looked at my Instagram going, somehow I managed to stop posting in early November. And that hasn't happened this year. And that feels really good. It feels really good that the leads haven't stopped coming in. It feels really good that I'm having sales meetings still. It feels really good that things are booked up in my one-on-ones and my coaching program for next year, when normally I'm thinking, oh God, what's happening in January and February? And that is from learning and putting stuff in at this point when I remember everything has not been great, and looking at it, putting stuff in my diary to make sure that doesn't happen the following year. And maybe next year I need to put and write all my Friday emails as well as my Tuesday ones well in advance. I think I did have that in my plan, but it just didn't happen. But it's okay. It'll be okay if we drop the ball. But what I would like you to do is, 1, take the break you need. 2, sit and reflect and check, is there stuff that I need to be doing? If I'm going to plan, I'm going to listen to my body, and when I'm tired, I'm going to move away from it. And number 3, think about how you can have things in your life support your business more, and what changes might need to happen in your family. And this is a good time to introduce those changes. And number 4, if there's stuff that you know hadn't happened this Christmas period that should have happened, go put it in your diary now and have it. You could even send yourself an email, schedule yourself an email for that, saying, hey, this is past Rachel talking to you. This is going to sound kind of weird, but hey, Rachel, it's now September, and you decided last Christmas that you need to give this time to going and planning such and such, because otherwise you're going to really regret it at Christmas. So past Rachel saying, don't let future Rachel be cross with you today in September. And do that. Put it in. Schedule it in. And it will help. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful holiday period. And I'm looking forward to continue to work with you and talk to you and help you as your content marketing coach. Signing off from this. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you in 2024.